This right here is a real surfboard fin, designed by humans, known to work, and cost quite a bit of money. And this one here, I actually asked AI to design for me, but it's yet to see water in its life. And as with most projects, the main question is, why? Well, you see, the internet seems to have this idea that AI can design absolutely everything right now. But I thought to go one step further than videos, photos, and stories, and actually get it to do a real job. Compare it to a real FCS2 fin and see which one did better in the real world. Now, the test procedure is kind of obvious. We're going to design it, print it, plug it, and then actually go and paddle out into the ocean just to see how well it flows on real waves. And now I know the first iteration does look a bit stupid, but as we always say, if something looks stupid, but it works, then it's not stupid. We just have to figure out if it's actually gonna work or not. Let me make something very clear though. This isn't just gonna be me asking, say, ChatGPT for instructions on how to build the fin. You see, with the recent release of Claude Fable 5, I'm actually gonna plug this into my 3D designing software and work with it and make it do most of the steps on my behalf. So I sat down with Claude Fable 5 and connected to the Fusion MCP, and then I basically gave it the design specs for an FCS2 fin, which it learned the base length, depth, how much sweep, which is basically what the surfing nerds call a rake, and the foil, which is just a cross section, the bit that actually does the hydrodynamics. One of the things I must say I'm very impressed with is how well the AI tried to actually adopt what a fin looked like in the first iteration of the Fusion model. As you can see, it didn't get it perfect and it made a few things that just would not fit into my surfboard, but other than that, it just looked really cool to see it come to life. Already what I'm seeing is just the ability for designers to save so much time when they can still run the design and own the outcome, but they can just get AI to help them with all the little steps in the middle that are fairly straightforward and generic. Now, to take what people have been doing for decades, that is designing and modeling surfboard fins, testing them to see how they work, and say that an AI could replace that within a couple of minutes would be such a fallacious statement. There are so many little details to get right, and honestly, I had to come back and see how my FCS2 fins that I currently use are designed and try and put that back into what the AI already did. So let's actually see how well this prints on a first run and try and fit it into our surfboard. Now, material is definitely a priority here. We want to make sure we're going to go for something that's fairly flexible, tough, and a perfect fit for a fin. So what I've settled on here is PETG, cranked to a very, very conservative infill. And for my audience of 3D printing nerds watching, don't worry, there were many more settings that I had to consider.
I believe what's happening here is the actual slot this goes in, it's too small, right? So I've got a bit of curvature on this one, and it's just flat on this one, and it's also wider. Also the back one here, right? This has like this sort of curve going in. Now I don't think this is like pertinent to the design. That being said, I'm not actually an expert in fin design, so let's quickly go ahead and discuss how fins actually work, and then we'll go and fix this up.
The fin is angled into the flow, and that's the angle of attack. And effectively, water gets squeezed faster on one face of the fin as opposed to the other. So you get faster flow and lower pressure on that side, and the pressure difference you get face to face is essentially what your lift is. Now, that's going to be the actual force that's holding your line during a turn. So more angle, more force, but more drag too. There's never a free lunch. So every fin shape is just a different fin designer deciding where they want that trade-off to occur. Then we have the rake, which is how far it leans back, and then it moves to where the force works. More rake and the grip point sits further back, more lever arm, and then you get these big, long, smooth draw-out turns. Now, with less rake, you're more upright, so the grip is right underneath you. So there's tighter, snappier pivots, almost like it's sitting on a coin. And the last bit is actually going to be flex. Every single fin designer will tell you just how much flex actually helps you. Now, we're going to put this into actual practice because the fin that I'm printing out is going to be a lot more flexible than a regular FCS2 fin that I normally have on my surfboard, which is a lot more stiff and rigid.
So after some prompting and skill development with Claude, I was able to advance the fin to a more curved looking design, and one of the impressive items was how it was generating me these 2D graphs as a nice human in the loop touch before it actually deployed the design. Compare this to my last video where ChatGPT was giving its instructions, and now where Claude is actually using a myriad of tools to try and get the design that we've specified for it. And as you can see, after some back and forth, we got there in the end. I then sent it to my printer, ready for some final fitting and testing to see how it all came together. The first look at the print straight away was very promising and something we could definitely work with.
Alright, so I'm up at about 5 AM because I was really excited to see how the new ones came out because I'm almost certain these ones are going to work. Alright, let's chuck the left one in. Yeah, that one. It went in perfectly.
Right, and now that Fin 101 is out of the way, it's time that we go to one of my favorite places on the earth.
We're training out lifeguards here today. All right, so I reckon the first test we've got to do is actually make sure the fins survive the car trip. Because if they didn't, that's going to be funny. All right, that's good. That's good. Holy shit. Yeah, you can see the layer line. Look at that. Oh, it's sick. That's actually so much fun. It's screwed down. It feels like a found film movie. All right, so I have 2 boards that I've brought just in case all the fins break, but we're going to do a control, right? So there's going to be a bit of a test here, right? And the test is simple. So just surf, just get out there and make sure it actually works. We do a bottom turn. If the fins don't snap, that's going to be a pass. If that test succeeds, then afterwards, I'm going to get my other board probably about 40 minutes into the session just to see how it actually compares. Now, I'm actually not that good enough of a surfer to do a proper comparison, so I don't know what I'm trying to prove here, but hey, at least we can do a like-for-like comparison and I can say I've done a proper control. Let's get into it. Currently 12 degrees out here. All right, so the beauty about coming to urban surf is not only do I have to not worry about waking up early and hoping there's going to be a swell and not a big lineup, there's going to be consistent waves the whole time. So we booked the progressive turn session, number 1, so it's not too hard that I'm doing a test on a test fin case. And number 2, it's just going to be consistent the whole time. So the fact that it's consistent means one thing and one thing only. The only control here is the fins and my ability to surf, I think. So let's just try and be consistent with that and hope for the best. Let's do it. So this is the board that James is going to ride for testing, and this is the spare in case the testing goes wrong. So James, any final word? Oh, freezing. Look it.
Alrighty, so this isn't actually the first time we've paddled out together on this channel, but now we're just going to see how well our AI assisted 3D printed fins work. So let's give wave 1 a go. Things definitely felt different off the get-go, almost like there was zero effort for the board to go where I wanted it, but that came with a trade-off, because as you can tell, not a lot of control was present on my behalf.
Fins are holding up so well.
And not only did we have good moral support from Sean, but a quick check of the fins showed that everything was going so far as to plan.
Fins are still all there. Good to see. He's a bit tired. It's been a while since we've done this.
And after a couple of more waves, I was pretty content that the initial part of the test had actually passed, so I was about to paddle in and go and test out my other board with the stiffer FCS fins.
Should it work? What? They survived? Yeah, it actually worked. Yeah, that was interesting. Yeah, how's the board? Really fun. Really new on the turns. Yeah, I'll do a proper analysis when I'm back. Yeah, very nice. The proper fins out now. Yeah, good luck. Look at that. 3D print, that's got a lot of flex to it actually. You actually see the lines on the side. Yeah, it's got a lot of give in that. Yeah, way easier.
Almost instantly, I just felt a complete difference. You can see how much the turning circle is a lot more slower, and like I'm putting a bit more effort in to actually generate speed here. Now, even though a lot of this is down to my skill alone and not so much the board because I am still fairly fresh, you can definitely see an immediate shift in style to what an AI 3D printed fin gives us versus an actual human designed FCS fin.
You know what's crazy? Like the minute I picked up my other board, I felt the difference immediately. It was like I had to plant my feet a lot more to get a turn going, which is weird because I've never actually done back-to-back surfing where I've changed boards in the middle of a setting. Like that first board, it felt like anywhere I wanted the board to go, it actually worked, which is kind of what I wanted, putting that bit more curvature on the fins, making it a bit thinner. Ultimately, that was pretty cool.
And no better way to celebrate a cold night of success with some hot and spicy ramen.
So now that I'm at home, not dripping wet and freezing, and I can get my thoughts together, let's actually go through my honest review of what it actually felt like. So as you would have seen at the park, I used a different FCS fin than the one I've been holding up here, but that's fine because it still does something very similar. And of course, that was the obvious winner. And there's really no surprise about that. I mean, these things have undergone extensive design review, and the material trade-off is second to none when comparing it to the AI fin. But the fin we designed actually really surprised me because it definitely wasn't garbage. Now, in a lot of my previous AI review videos, a lot of the things that AI makes, I tend to downtalk quite a bit. But this one I was actually very impressed with. The AI fin, although feeling pretty loose, was also a bit playful and unhinged. It was almost like an animal of its own. And even though myself being quite beginner intermediate in my surfing, know that I have to generate more speed for better turns, the ease of turn felt like something I'd never experienced before. Now, obviously, I'm not going to discount the fact that there were 2 different boards I used, so there's going to be a bit of variability there, but I do ride those boards quite regularly, and the turning feel is usually very similar, albeit that when I use my regular fins on the test board, the turns usually do feel a bit more playful and easier, but with the AI fins, it was a completely new level. The other thing was that the PETG that I printed it in was actually pretty flexible compared to my normal fin. I reckon if I used carbon fiber or something a lot more stiffer, it would have been a completely different experiment. So even though the AI drew the shape, at the end of the day, it's always going to be the flex, stiffness, and curve that actually decide how the board surfs. Now, what's the catch to this? AI gave me a beautiful blueprint, gave me some great shaping on the fin, but it wasn't really that good at getting the exact plug details that I needed for the board. I mean, you saw from the first one, I just could not get it in. The second one I printed out, it sort of snapped when I tried to put it in. And then the third one worked like a charm after I did my own alteration that AI itself couldn't get down into the detail. Now, here's a fun analogy I've actually been using recently when it comes to AI. AI takes the blank page away from us because as engineers, that's what we usually start with, if not a previous template. So in the instance of these surfboard fins, AI did the design, but the engineering is what made it work. And that can only come from a passionate engineer like ourselves. Now, why I get so excited about this is the potential advancement in the different surf technologies we can see. For example, a fin designer could easily utilize an AI tool like this to try and test so many different ideas they have, print it out and get it out in the wave pool so quickly because number one, wave pools have the exact same and consistent waves each time. You're not worried about the variability you see at the beach. And number two, it's super cheap. I mean, that fin probably cost me about $2.80 to print. So if it breaks or it doesn't work, or we don't like the design, cool, let's test the next one out and let's see how well it works. And that leads me to my final point. If there's anything that you want to see me design that might have the AI do the blueprint and us do that final engineering touch, subscribe and let me know in the comments and we can make it work. See you in the next one.